Oh no, I don't want to do that. No. Okay, 3, 2, scene. Can you put on some Cher? No. No matter how hard I try. Welcome to Action Unwind. As always, I'm Drew. This is Dean. We're talking everything and anything we want to help us unwind. And thank you for joining us on today's episode and taking some time to unwind with us. We are talking Jada toys and we are talking Yolopark on today's episode. What's going on with Jada?
Very excited about today. Yeah, I mean, these are two lines that are kind of come across the plates for both of us.
Yeah.
Jada toys. I am familiar with Jada toys in the Hot Wheels aisle. Walmart, Toys R Us here in Canada, where they mainly were doing die-cast cars.
Yeah.
1/6 scale, awesome stuff. Come with like a little figurine as well.
Yeah.
All metal. I think my kids actually have some of their like
die-cast.
The 24-pack die-cast of like Spider-Man figures. Like they're just really cool figures. Anyway, Jurassic Park, Fast and the Furious, yeah, all the good stuff. Yeah, all that Vin Diesel action. Yeah, and then about a year and a half ago,
and our favorites, G.I. Joe.
Sure, yeah, absolutely, absolutely.
Yeah.
They're doing that too.
Right on.
So about a year and a half ago, I think it was around, where I heard an announcement that they were going to dip their toe into the action figure line, and man, they could not be happier with what they've produced. Streetfighter.
I remember you telling me that you're like, oh, I'm into Jada toys, and that's where I went. Is I was like, oh, Jurassic Park, like Jeeps, you know, like okay, cool.
Sure.
And you're like, they're doing Streetfighter, and I was like, pardon? Yeah. And it's not that I didn't think they could, but I just, I was shocked. I was like, okay, cool. Like this is. It's always nice when a new player enters the game.
Yeah.
You know?
Again, with anything I think I collect, it's all nostalgia hitting me back. And my brother and I played Streetfighter, every version from the arcade, pumping quarters into that machine, all the way up until whatever this last version, Street Fighter 6, that just came out. So
I can't even tell you what they're on now.
We're just like, yeah, I mean, there's some great games over the years, and these figures look like they jumped right out of the video game. Yeah. The stuff I love about them is that they come with additional hands, additional heads, and the additional heads we've spoken about in other lines in the past, where like you're never going to throw a Hadouken looking straight face during somebody. They give the angry looking face. Yeah. They give all that character of what the figure is doing and that move that they'd be doing, because these things are so posable. You can get them into any sort of pose that they'd actually be doing in a video game, which is awesome. What I love about
recreate the iconic stuff, right? Like that's the key. And, and when you get it, you get it.
Ryu, one of the first announced. Obviously, probably the majority of the fan base love this guy.
Started fighting the comics.
Yeah,
do it
for sure. Ryu,
all the Ken people,
the top dog. The belt comes off. It's a very soft rubber. His gi is very soft rubber. So again, action shots, figure photography, shelf posing, whatever you're doing, these things are just lights out.
Not that it's cell shading, but the texture, I guess, is the best way to say it. It's not cell shading, but the way the light hits the fabric, and like I don't know if it's airbrushed or what, but like it's not just white fabric. Like there's different. Again, it's probably to do with, which I think they've excellently executed. Is that a combo that we should use? Excellently executed.
You know what?
It's the video game fabric. It looks just like it. Yeah,
they're awesome. Obviously, just got them in a certain pose. Like I said, extra hands, extra heads, and then even some of the accessories like the Hadouken flame. If you take a close look inside of it, it's got his hands in there, so you can get it for a good shot. Getting his hands behind there, his arms behind there, so that again you can capture the hands inside the flame. All of that is they have. Chun-Li's kick too, the effects where it looks like a triple kick.
Yeah.
Like such great stuff. What I'm the most excited about is one of the earliest releases was one of my favorite characters.
An unknown for me.
Oh man, Fei Long.
Yeah.
You know, very much Bruce Lee inspired. The Fei Long was one of my favorites. One of the things I loved when I had him on Super Street Fighter 2 Turbo was you could select with a different button. You could select the different color of outfit that they would
garment.
Be in. Yeah, garment. Yeah. He had these like royal purple. Like I might pick up a second and like paint him. Yeah, like this like royal purple color pants. Like I would use it all the time.
Maybe we'll see him on the custom couch.
Just loved it. One of the other reasons I got him and I love him is that my favorite is Fei Long, my brother's favorite is Zangief growing up, and we would just have battles, and I would always try to do the flame kick and just light up Zangief, and we had a chuckle when I sent him, my brother, the pre-order that I was getting this, and he was all over. But yeah, even like the soft rubber, the flame that can go over his leg, and the pose you can do. Yeah, it's well made. They're awesome. Price point is great. They're about $35 Canadian for us to pick up. They're not really accessible here in most retail stores. Get them from some of the
special outlets.
Special outlets. Some of our favorite collectibles from some of our favorite collectible spots. But I think they're out in Target. Ken's on pre-order for me right now. The other announcements are Bison, one of my favorite bad guys. They got Cammy announced.
Stretchy arms.
Yeah, Dalsum. Yeah, they got however you want to say his name. I always say Dalsum. But there are some really key figures. They're doing them all. They're all going to come out. What's nice about these is, like I said, the price point. For most people that are familiar with Streetfighter figures over the years, Storm Collectibles is kind of at the height of
Pinnacle.
Oh man!
But with Pinnacle comes price.
Yeah, right? Absolutely. Their figures are lights out, unreal. I love them, but for anybody who doesn't want to spend over $150 on a figure, these will get you there. I mean, I'm curious to see how they're going to scale when E-Honda and Balrog, Sagat all come out.
Yeah.
We'll see how they scale because and Zangief, as I said, all those guys are they're built as they should be in that line. So I'm hoping to see them really scale well within this Jada Lines toy.
I just got to say too, though, like with the price point is, for someone who's looking to build a collection and stuff like that, some of those Storm collectibles, they're 120, 130.
Yeah.
You're getting 3 or 4 figures.
Yeah,
and good quality figures.
And not knocking the Storm stuff. The Storm stuff, like I said, is unreal. It's awesome out there. But for those that don't want to spend that on one figure, these are incredible. So add these to your list. I love them. I can't wait to get more. I've had Ken on pre-order for a bit. I know he's in Target. A lot of people are saying they got him already. My pre-order keeps getting back ordered, but hopefully it'll be in soon, and I can't wait to show that one when he gets in here. But excited to get the rest on pre-order. Love them.
Absolutely. Right on. Yolopark. New figure line for me. Technically, it's classed as like a model kit, is how they're referred to them. Mm-hmm. We got Wave 1 right here. We got B, Optimus Prime, and Optimus Primal in the back. I was introduced to this line from a YouTube channel that I've been following for some time, a couple of years now, which I'll bring the details later on in the episode here. This Wave 1 is phenomenal. You get 3 well-scaled figures with one another. Mm-hmm. I was a big fan of the Transformers Rise of the Beast because I grew up with the G1 in my life, but I grew up in the golden era of the Beast Wars, which is maybe new for some people. Not everyone's cup of tea, but like this design, like right out of the gate for Optimus Primal, who was one of my favorites, like it's a go-to if you were a Beast Wars fan. This design's phenomenal, and I loved it in the movie. This came right out of the screen. The design, like the intricacy of the pistons that move. These are, I should say, they're non-transforming Transformers. So if you're looking for a shelf that commands the visual cue to stare at it, these are the ones to go with. Optimus, every single little panel, every single piece of the truck and stuff, you can kind of see built into it. The wheels have like a rubbery feel. They spin.
So one thing I was going to point out is one thing I love about it is that like any sort of model kit you get, everything's kind of just stays in one spot.
Exactly.
Nothing moves, but like the wheels on B's ankles here, they spin. Just a really key detail to something that if you're going to get a Transformer, you instantly think like, oh, it's got to transform.
It's got to transform.
These don't,
right?
but you're not missing out on that because of the detail in these things.
And I have seen some people do figure photography where they're using, excuse me, like a studio series for maybe the animal version or the truck car version, and then in their photos they're swapping to a Yolopark because of the details there. Yeah. So this is your Wave 1. It has been out for some time. Canada, it's harder to get. You're paying Canadian about $50 a figure approximately. In the US, 34 or so. Yeah. But like I said, they come with the figures. They come with some interchangeable hands and stuff like that, which is huge. And they usually all come with a weapon.
On that point too, for the price point, what I like is that when you look at these, you think that B would be one price,
Correct.
You know, Prime will be another
Optimus,
price, but because he's a looks like a deluxe figure, they're the same price, which is awesome. You're not paying extra for a bigger figure, which is great.
Yeah. And I would, like I said, I was a little bit late getting to the line. It was newer to me. I found these 3 as a sold pack together, like individual boxes, but as sold together for $150
Nice.
Canadian, which was a hell of a deal. So I had to jump all over it. Now that's wave 1. Wave 2. This is where I give Yolopark the credit. From what I've seen anyway with these figures thus far, you got Cheetor here, and we got Scourge, our boy Scourge, the big baddie. Rhinox is a part of it. We've mentioned before, being in Canada, it's a little tricky sometimes to get stuff right away, but he is on the pre-order. These figures are great. These figures are elevated even a little bit more. The paint apps are even better on Wave 2. The articulated fingers on Scourge. Now, like we said, the first wave does come with a couple different options of hands. The new ones that are coming out, they're all coming with articulated fingers.
That's crazy.
So
That's crazy.
it's kind of nice because that plastic that would go to these
jointed.
other hands is now going into the figure. Scourge has all the emblems carved on him. He comes with interchangeable hands. You got his blaster hands. He also has that attachment for the claw.
Yeah, like noticing like just the pins in every knuckle too, right? Like,
Absolutely,
it's
absolutely. So, like I said, if you're looking for non-transforming Transformers that just command that visual cue when you walk into a room and you see your display, you can't sleep on these. You got to go get. You got to go get them. I'm all in on this line. It's phenomenal. I'm seeing great things. Rhinox is coming out next.
The one thing you were mentioning too, just about these, is that to get you addicted to this line, it's very similar to what NECA is doing with those gargoyles.
Yes.
Right. Every new figure that comes out, there's an upgrade for a past figure, so it not only gets you buying more of the figures, but it upgrades your previous figure. So
exactly, it's a smart business move.
Sure.
And that being said, though, there's not an additional price bump, which is nice. And I think maybe my speculation, it's coming from the articulated hands, that extra plastic. So, for example, Cheetor that we had up here, you're going to get the 2 additional B blasters and the battle mask for Bumblebee. The Rhinox that's coming out, you get Rhinox with his Warhammer. It's like a sledge, and then he comes with 2 blades for Optimus Prime. He comes with the axe, and he comes with a gun for each hand for Optimus.
The Glocks.
He comes with gats. So, really exciting time.
Awesome.
Do not sleep on this. Now, the YouTuber that introduced him to me is a guy he goes by PRIMEVSPRIME. Hit him up on YouTube. Phenomenal Transformers reviewer. He does a lot of figure reviews. He'll do some movie reviews and stuff.
We'll get his info in the comments below.
Yeah, we'll put it down below. Go give him a sub and tell him that Action Unwind sent you. And like I said, if you are even inkling of getting these, hop on his page. He's got reviews for all of them, including Rhinox. He's fortunate enough to get a little bit of an early jump on it. So, go and get them. They're well priced. They're awesome figures. I could natter on for hours. I love these things, and I'm very excited to see where they're going. Last little blurb. If you are a Bayverse Transformers fan, they do have Optimus Prime and Megatron coming out. So it's probably going to be a long run of these things because they are taking off real hot.
All right, so if you've seen a few of our previous episodes, we've spoken. We've done both. We've done both. Again, another thing across the bottom of the screen about my error. How I speak. Symbiote. Did I say symbiotes? Who does that?
Is it plural?
Is it
Symbiotes.
Symbiotes. That was uncomfortable. Anyway, in previous episodes, we've spoken about elevating your fig game, whether it is fig photography or just that pose on that shelf surrounded by your favorite characters. What are some accessories? What are some things in the background you can pick up to just take it to the next level? One of the things that I just did, that I scooped off of Amazon, is this amazing leather wired cape. Coat?
You know what?
Long
he
coat.
might deserve a cape.
He should.
He's a big player.
Sam Jackson should have
Big
a
role.
cape in anything that he does. This coat is unreal. It's got a wired belt. It's got a buckle on the belt as well. The pop collar, because Sam Jackson does whatever he wants, as whatever characters he likes. When I first got this figure, I was a big fan of it right away. We've spoken about it. But the kind of soft rubber coat that he had on wasn't really poseable. Move his arms, but there was no bowing. It was
very good for a standing straight pose. But
absolutely. So
drops
just
anything, he's not picking
very
it up.
carefully took an X-Acto knife to that and removed it, and through this this new coat onto Sam Jackson, also known as Nick Fury.
And it looks like fabric in motion.
Yeah,
right. It looks windy, or it looks like he's walking.
For sure, yeah. Doing that pose, doing that that strongman walk. Anyway, right now it's sitting on Nick Fury. It'll probably go to another couple figures through time on my shelf, but big fan of this leather coat. Yeah, absolutely. Just takes it to the next level, and big fan so far. What'd you pick?
Okay, we're talking coats. You mentioned capes. I'm going to take it over to capes.
Say new.
Last episode we were chatting Spawn. Since then, I had probably my new favorite thing come in, which is this Spawn's cape.
This is wild.
This thing is out of control, amazing. So this is a true fabric.
Sorry, medieval Spawn?
Medieval Spawn, yeah, which combos two of my favorite things. Oh, like knights and gladiators and stuff things with one of my favorite...
Big Camelot fan. Big Camelot fan.
Merlin, hit me up. Yeah. Hit the sub there, Merlin. It comes with, so the pack that I got was, I believe it was Night Forge or Forge Night. I do apologize. Go on Etsy, eBay, even Amazon, search Spawn accessories, Spawn capes and stuff. If you're looking for something, there's so many providers. And I mean, I'm thankful for what they give us, because, so we got the cape. It came with kind of this shoulder guard. It's almost, it looks like kind of like bear fur underneath the shoulder. You've got an axe, you've got a shield.
Just stop there for a second. Look at the detail on that shield. Like, it's almost like a, is that translucent eyes on it? Like, it's,
like it looks like it's actual like emerald rock. Yeah. You've got real metal chain, and then you had this kind of like, it's like almost like a long rope, fabric rope with wire through the whole thing. So we got that coiled around his ankle there. I want to turn him around. Oh, before I turn him around, pardon me. It's also got like these skulls. Now the skulls around the collar, they actually kind of look like they're sculpted out of bone.
Yeah.
Like the cell, or not, I keep saying cell shading, but I guess it would just be kind of the details of the skulls just look incredible.
Crazy.
Now, the reason I want to turn them around is the back, the fabric, it's not just red fabric. It's been like airbrushed or something. I don't know. There's bendy wires in all of this. I have always loved Spawn's cape because it's like a living thing. It's always big and everything. It's out there. It's loud. I love it.
Iconic.
I'm hoping that I can find a cape to go with my Gladiator Batman that I always pose him with, because that would be awesome. Now, we were thankful for McFarlane for what they're doing with the capes. Like, it's a cape in motion. However, if the wind is going this way, this cape don't work.
Yeah.
But
sorry, just back to the Spawn 2, those chains that come with it as well?
Yep.
That's unreal.
Oh, yeah, and they're real metal.
Yeah,
real metal.
And then to your point of the capes, they're like McFarlane's doing like lights out work with all the figures, all the constant announcements. The
30 years of Spawn.
Yeah,
we're in right now. So.
But there was a Batman. Again, I'm familiar with DC. I talked about DC figures in my collection a couple episodes ago, but just want to mention, like, I don't know the deep versions of all the different Batmans out there. Yeah. There's awesome ones for sure, but
there's way more than I ever knew.
Yeah, and there's one that was just announced. He's got the purple hands, and he's got a soft goods cape, and like I think all of us collectors out there love the soft goods. Always bring the soft goods. So it's good that McFarlane's going to go down that road and hopefully apply to Spawn, apply to some of the other DC characters. But I don't think you'll get a cape that size in McFarlane.
I will say, the soft goods is a good jump for McFarlane.
Yeah.
But ever since I have experienced capes with wires in them, it's
wiry capes.
Go right to the wiry capes.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? I don't know how that looks for McFarlane if that's the case.
I think I'd like to get a wiry cape or a wiry gi for Ryu.
A wiry gi. Just give him Sam Jace. You can fight him for it.
In the next episode, you will see Ryu in a long leather trench coat.
You're gonna have to promise. You promised that now. You're gonna have to do that now.
Custom coach.
We'll hold him to it.
Future custom coach. Ryu in a leather coat.
Beautiful. Awesome. Okay, so we're gonna wrap it up there today. Thank you so much for joining us on today's episode. Real quick before we go, PRIMEVSPRIME, go check them out. Go send them a sub. Tell them Action Unwind sent you for Transformers. Check out Jada. Check out Yolopark. Dig in now. These have been out long enough. You do not want to sleep and be late to the game because you're going to pay for it for sure. So from all of us here at Action Unwind, thank you so much for joining us. Thanks for taking some time to unwind with us, and we'll see you on the next episode.